Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rewind and Replay. I'm Matan,
I'm Adriana.
And I'm Caitlin.
and today we're joined by James Vegas, one-fourth of the post-hardcore and alt-rock band Modern Day Escape. In addition to his work as stellar musician and dad to the adorable Boston Terrier Buford, James is a giant video game fan here to talk with us about some of the best video game soundtracks in the biz. So before we get into games, though, could you tell the audience a little bit about your band and what you've been up to lately?
Yeah, we just did a really awesome calendar shoot. It's called Adult Musicians, and it's very risque. If anybody wants to purchase that, we got it on eBay for $5.99.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're all oiled down, sprayed down with the baby oil, wrestling style. So we've been off for like 7 years, and we toured the world, did a lot of awesome things, and then we took a break to grow up and stop being dumb idiots. And then, my buddy hit me up. He's like, hey, let's do it again. I was like, I guess we're a little older now. He's like, who cares? So we're back with a new record called Transmutation.
Yes, we are all excited for that new record. And you know what? All bands at some point break up. They have a break, they come back, or they don't. And we're glad you guys did.
Thank you.
So any hints or teasers about what we can expect from your new album?
So we dropped our first song called Revenge is So Sweet. It's very pop punky style alternative rock. And then we dropped a heavier track called Sunny Places, Shady People. That's doing really well. Got on a bunch of playlists on Spotify, which is cool. And then we're getting ready to drop a song called Worst Kind of Curse, hopefully by Halloween time. No, it's not Halloween themed, but it is the heaviest song to date. It's the most metal song we've ever written. And I was actually talking about concepts for a music video today that I think I'm just going to fund and shoot myself and just go silly willy-nilly on it. So I can't really say, because if I say it and everyone's like, oh, that's such a good idea, I want to do that too. I can't say that, but I will say it's going to be super cheesy and super awesome.
Awesome. We are all clearly excited for that. What made you all decide to bring the band back together for this new album?
Well, like I said, it'd been 6 or 7 years. I never stopped playing music. So after Modern Day ended, I went out and toured with other bands. There's a specific band that toured with for like 2 years called Trapped. They're really getting made fun of online now. They've basically turned into an internet meme.
Ooh.
Their song that they're known for is called Headstrong. It's played at every sports game ever. So I toured with them as their merchandise manager, and then I started another band called Armada. It was like this crazy metal band. Then I had like a pop punk band called Here to Stay, and just nothing was sticking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I'm getting ready just to pull the e-brake. I'm in my mid-30s now. I'm like, I got my dog, got my little baby Buford, my little baby dog. I was like, I think I'm just gonna be a dog dad, stick with bartending, play video games, and just be weird. And then I jumped on Fortnite, as this embarrasses me to say. We can cut out the game. I jumped on Fortnite, and it just so happened that my bassist was on, and we started chatting, and we played, and I was getting sniped from like my little children with carrots sticking out of their nose, cussing me to all hell.
Yep.
And then he was like, dude, what do you think about starting up the machine? I was like, I don't know, bro. I was like, I don't know. He's like, come on, man. He's like, even if it does well or it doesn't like it did, he's like, it doesn't matter. Let's just have fun. And because we got really screwed over by the record label, blah, 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 sad story, bing, bong, bing. And I was like, you know what, dude? F it, bro. Let's just see what happens. So here we are. 8 months later, we got a new record out. And yeah, people are like, whoa, I like this. Either A, they missed us, or B, they're like, who are you? I don't know, but it sounds good. Either way, it works.
Yeah, I really liked. In preparation for this, I listened to Revenge is So Sweet, and you also have, as you mentioned, there's an 8-bit version. And
yes,
are you doing that for other songs? And why did you decide to go with an 8-bit for this track?
So yes, we are getting ready to drop an 8-bit for Sunny Places, Shady People. So basically, we're dropping the entire EP, which is 5 songs. We're dropping 5 8-bit versions of it. So we're basically doing the album again, but all 8-bit, because we're like, no band's really ever done this, for one, and for two, I like being a little fat child in the 80s. I would sit on my dumpy butt and eat cereal and play Sega Master System. So, and like from Sega Master System on now, obviously, until my extremely expensive PC that I'm sitting on today. But at the end of the day, 8-bit to me still like slaps home. You know what I mean? It still hits home, brings back to that vibe when I was a little kid. And we found a dude who remixed the songs 8 bits, and he did a killer job with it. So we're like, let's just do the whole album. So I know there's not a huge market for 8-bit people who listen to 8-bit, but I was like, you know what? Forget it, man. Let's just pay and have it remixed and go for gold, Jeffy.
Yeah, do what makes you happy. And you're right, that is so unique. And I kind of prefer the 8-bit version. I mean, your songs are all great, but you know, I come more from that gamer standpoint, and it's all really awesome. I think it's a great move. And I'm excited
I'll be honest,
to hear the others.
The 8-bit version sounds cooler than the actual song.
Yeah.
Listen, this song's great. I poured my heart and soul into this record, but at the end of the day, that 8-bit version slaps hard.
It does, yeah. Do you have? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was just gonna ask if you have a song you're most excited for people to listen to from the new EP, or just from any previous album if they're new to your band, if they haven't listened before.
So if we're gonna throw a throwback track to 2012, I'll give you two. My throwback track in 2012 off our album Under the Gun. This song is called Angels Up Above, and it was about the guy who, I wouldn't say he taught me how to sing, but he was like my vocal coach. He passed away. He was huge on Broadway, like back in like the 70s. The dude was extremely flamboyant and extremely amazing. And he would sit there with like a glass of booze in his hand and he's like, tighten up your diaphragm. And he'd punch me like with a knuckle, like right in my stomach. Like, you're not tightening enough. He's like, honey, if you're going to be able to sing, you got to sing loud. He's like, tighten it up. So unfortunately, he passed away. And we wrote a song called Angels Up Above. And that song, for me, hits deep home throughout all our albums. And then on the new record, we have an acoustic track called Alone We Carry On. And it's probably it's like one of those acoustic ballads. You know what I mean? It starts off acoustic and then it ends on like an extreme, like if you can imagine, like if 30 Seconds to Mars, Yellow Card, and My Chemical Romance had a baby, they just like smashed up into a mutant ugly baby. That's what this song is. So I push my voice to a new level. So I'm excited for people to be like, oh, he can sing. It's not just auto-tune. Cool. You know what I mean? So I'm just pumped to get that out and really show that I'm actually a musician, and I use that term loosely.
Definitely. I mean, I'm definitely excited to check out all of these new songs, and I think everyone should go check out Modern Day Escape. We have a link to their YouTube channel in our description, and we're going to play a short clip for you guys right now.
Now, getting into games, what are some of your favorite games to play right now, James?
Dude, I was going hard on Harry Potter Lego yesterday. Like
Ooh.
I was going deep on that.
I love the Lego games.
Yeah, I honestly like. There are some that aren't good. I'll be honest, but for the most part, they are pretty sweet.
They are making a new Lego Star Wars game. It's gonna have episodes 1 through 9. I think it's due out in October. I cannot wait.
I'm not a super hardcore Star Wars fan. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying I'm not like a hardcore Star Wars fan. I like more.
I'm with you on that.
Instead of science fiction's cool, but I like fantasy more.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. I get it.
It's
Totally
I've just always been. I'm more into dragons than I'm laser beams or swords. You know what I mean? Than laser swords. However, it's awesome though. Sorry, I'm not.
I'm a big fan of dragons with lasers personally.
Amazing. A new concept.
That's for both worlds.
In thongs. Right.
In thongs.
Yes.
You know what? Why the fuck not, right?
Sexy dragons in thongs with laser beam hands.
I wanted to talk first of all about Rock Band and Guitar Hero. That's like a pretty easy game to talk about its music and soundtrack.
Right.
You had one of your songs was on Rock Band, right?
I think so. Google doesn't tell me that it is, but I'm pretty certain it was. Yeah, I was there when we signed the contract.
Some sort of deal was made. Some line was signed.
We signed on a dotted line, and then I remember downloading it, but Google's like, no, that never happened. So
you know what? Google's not perfect. So
yeah, right. Whatever, dude.
My brother actually got into his start in playing guitar was Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Our family, we didn't own it, but my aunt in Ohio did, and so whenever we were there, we would jam out for hours, and so we got into music, which I think is very cool.
I think Guitar Hero is the reason I realized I didn't want to play guitar.
Yikes. Guitar Hero is the reason I realized I wanted to play guitar, which turned into me learning piano instead, which is a big disappointment, but it's fine.
No way, piano's way freaking harder to play.
Yeah.
No, I played piano for a little bit too, and you know what? I enjoyed it more than Guitar Hero.
I was told that if you want to play guitar, you should learn piano first. I don't know who the hell said that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess finger dexterity. Yeah, but I really wanted the guitar, man, and it didn't.
Sure. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it took me like 2 months to learn Michelle Branch, Making My Way Downtown or whatever it's on piano. That's the only song I can poorly play. That's
the only one you need.
Yeah. Sorry.
I wanted to give a shout out. There's here in the Bay Area in Oakland, there's a place called the Museum of Art and Digital Entertainment. It's like a video game history museum, which I would love to talk about at greater length on another episode. But you can walk through the building and it takes you through the years, and they have huge collections of, PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, original Xbox games, SNES games. And at the back, at the end, is more modern stuff. And they have every single peripheral for Rock Band and Guitar Hero. So they have the guitar, the bass, the drums, but they also have the microphone. They have a keytar, and it's really, really fun to just get everybody together and go there. It's like $5 entry and play. That's
pretty sick, dude. Just watching or like walking through like the eras of gaming.
It's awesome.
I love that stuff, dude. Anything having to do with like anime, nerdy, museum type things, like when you kind of learn stuff you didn't know.
Absolutely. So it's really cool. I'd highly recommend it. Another thing, in sort of a different direction we're going here, not strictly video game music, but the like lo-fi chill hip hop beats that is kind of the phenomenon that has arisen in the last couple of years.
Where did it come from?
I have no clue.
I don't know where it started.
It was out of nowhere.
Yeah. But I mean, when you think about it, and especially with games, so many of these games have songs that fit really well into this phenomenon that I'm sure we're going to talk about later. But like, I love just playing something from Animal Crossing while I'm cleaning the dishes or whatever.
Totally.
You can play your Nintendo Switch and do the dishes at the
same time. If only.
If only.
That's impressive.
But I can listen to the music.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, holy cow. You're like got one hand. You're like, oh, I hate this pot. I'm going to chop this tree. Oh, this pot.
That's what I strive to be able to do.
And then your hands get confused and you're pressing your plate with your thumb and scrubbing your Switch with the sponge.
Dipping your Switch into ranch and sipping it.
I like a lot of this lo-fi stuff. I've been listening to it a lot as I've been doing my summer classes. But there is a lot of intersection with games. There's a lot of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild with rain in the background, or remixes of Animal Crossing songs that are just very chill and have a steady beat. And I know, James, in our pre-recording conversation, you mentioned that you've been listening to some of this lately.
Yeah, it's when I wake up, man, I put like lo-fi or chill hop, or I put the lo-fi gaming like remix, or like if I'm, or I'm out, like, let's say we're like having a snack like over by the river. It's such a good vibe. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because it's like, it's just different enough that it's not like everything else that lo-fi hits and that stuff with the gaming, in the gaming portion of it. But it's still good, like background music in the retrospect. It's not overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? It doesn't distract. So if you like put metal on, it's like, and they're going crazy. And you're like, isn't this sandwich great? Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Like, it's not uncomfortable. So it works so perfect.
Yeah.
Do you guys, Adrian and Caitlin, do you guys listen to much of this?
Not a ton. Yeah, I've been listening a lot. I'm a big Critical Role fan, which is a D&D show. And they have I think 3 lo-fi tracks that I have been listening to a lot. But I'm
Nice.
very niche in my interests.
Yeah, I like to do like Zelda lo-fi.
Totally.
I always have the problem that if I'm doing it while doing homework, I still get distracted by it, and I still have to pause it every once in a while and be like, okay, I need to think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I need silence when I'm doing like homework.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're trying to retain information. I'm usually trying to get information out of my brain.
Yeah. That's a good distinction.
Yeah.
If I'm
Too
trying
much
to
is
do
going
stuff
on.
for like this podcast or just like writing or something, then I'll do it. But if it's like homework where I'm trying to like
Mhm.
remember and
Study.
study, I can't.
Yeah.
Learning, actual
Yeah.
learning.
I quit learning a long time ago. My brains have just Swiss cheese now at this point.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
God, almost there.
Almost there, yeah. My memory is not
Yeah.
what it should be.
My information retention is at an all-time low, I think. No pun intended.
A good band.
Okay. No judgment.
Next up is another big game with famous music, World of Warcraft.
Amazing music.
All time.
Yeah.
I never owned a World of Warcraft. I dabbled. I never really dived in. But I know Adriana and James, you guys know a lot more about this than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll let Adriana, you go for it. Tell me,
Yeah,
girl.
I don't play religiously. A couple of my friends are like deep into WoW, and so at least every Saturday night when we're like having gaming night, I will get talked to about everything.
Really?
So yeah. I'm hyped for Shadowlands, and I don't play the game. But I do listen to the music. I do really enjoy that. I'm personally like more of a peppy style. It's kind of my beat. So I really love listening to the innkeeper music when you're in Pandaria. It's just like, and it's a nice hop. And I kind of like that too. Like you can tell with like 8-bit, right? That's very much my style. Last night too, I was just gaming, playing something. And I had Daughter of the Sea on repeat in the background because it's so good.
Did you ever play Hearthstone?
Yes.
I did play Hearthstone.
I played.
I would say like I feel like Hearthstone would be your jam. Like the sound of when you first, you're like pull up a Hoth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
right, when you come in, it's like dun 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 dun. It's so good, man. It's so good.
It is really good. One of my friends, he had a Hearthstone quitting party.
What?
It was taking up too much of his like time and his attention because it's really great. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So we all, dressed up. We pretended that his apartment was like a tavern. We had drinks. We had music going on. We just had a tournament of Hearthstone. It was kind of the best.
And did he quit?
And he did quit.
Wow.
He went out with a bang.
That's fantastic.
That's what you think.
He's
Playing matches. I know this guy. I know how it is.
Yeah, right.
I was into Hearthstone. I was pretty late to the Hearthstone game, but I have a couple of friends who are really good. And I really like the design of that game. In particular, though, the sound of the music is fantastic, very environmental. For those of you who don't know, Hearthstone is a card game, a virtual card game that is set in a tavern in the Warcraft universe. And I really like that it always feels like that. You're not looking around the tavern, you're looking at the board, but you feel like you're in a tavern. And I think a lot of that is owed to the music.
Absolutely.
I got lucky enough to fly out to Southern California last year for BlizzCon.
Oh, wow.
And
I missed you by a year. Damn.
Oh, snap. And they had an entire section for Hearthstone. So it was all set up like you were there actually in the tavern.
Wow.
So when you're hanging out and you got the tablet down in front of you, you're looking at the game board right here in front of you, you know what I mean, or whatever. They had setups or whatever, and people were going and sitting next to each other or whatever. So you're looking around in an actual 360 view. They got speakers, so the music's playing. Like I'm not as in. So my lady plays Hearthstone like pretty much professionally, I guess, if you will.
Oh.
She streams and she's doing really, really well.
Plugger, what's her handle?
What's her at?
It's if you go to twitch.tv/sway, SWAY_BAE, Sway Bay.
Sway Bay.
Yeah.
She
Names. Sorry,
she's
go on.
no, it's okay. Her community is crazy. Like she's growing drastically and rapidly by the day because of her community specifically. It's so like well knit. It's crazy.
We love to see it, honestly.
Yeah, please, if you go check her out, like she crushes, man. She's Thursday through Sunday. She's just ripping it up. Anyway,
the name really sounds familiar.
Did you might have bumped into her stream? Like it's kind of goofy.
Yeah. The world's small.
So yeah, the gaming community is small. So when we were there with just a 360 view of the tavern itself with an actual bar, the barkeep was dressed like the dude Bob or whatever the heck the guy's name is. And the music's going off and everyone's playing. Like the vibe was so sick. Like it was so cool. It really put you there. Like I was there. You know what I mean? In the Warcraft universe. It was one of the coolest conventions I'd ever been to. You know what I mean?
That's the kind of stuff I miss with cons. I think it's going to be a while before we get them back because of COVID, but that's the kind of stuff I really like.
That's the only thing. Now, let me preface this by saying I don't want anyone ripping papes and, RIP night. I don't want that to happen to anybody, obviously. But GDMF, do I miss going to conventions, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, forget concerts. Forget that I'm in a
Says
band.
the musician.
What, dude? Whatever, dude. Forget me, dude. I don't even care about that, bro.
It's music.
I miss conventions are the only place, like, outside of music or being on stage. Being on stage, I guess, for like a 30-minute, it's like kind of like a blackout. I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
Outside of that, being at a convention is the only place that I truly feel I belong. Like, realistically. Wow. Like,
wow.
I don't know what it is. I don't talk to anybody. You know what I mean? We don't hang out, whatever. But when I'm there, I look at everyone, I'm like, look at these freaks. Look at these weirdos. I'm like, they're my friends.
It is almost
I feel like I
music.
fit right in with them.
Yeah, it's almost like music. Just hearing all those people, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Conventions is a special place for my heart. And that's, honestly, that's where I want to end up. This year I was supposed to start running the con circuit. I have written a children's book that is hopefully due out in October.
October's a big month.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's Halloween. It's my favorite. I mean, half of my friggin' tattoos are all Halloween crap.
Yeah.
So I wrote a children's book, and this year I was supposed to be on the convention circuit. I know this is off topic, but I'm just super pumped.
That's okay.
And hopefully it's out by Halloween. I got an artist drawing it now, and I've been working on it for probably like 3 years. And I was supposed to be on the convention circuit this year, like 2020, and then I was going to do them all and just sell my book, and I was so pumped for that, man. So pumped.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm ranting.
No.
I'm F you, COVID, dude. Let me get my conventions back, bro.
For real, though.
Before we move on, I do want to mention, part of the reason that I never went back to Hearthstone, I feel a little icky about it because of what happened with that tournament in Blitzchung. I don't know if you guys know about this, but before COVID, I don't exactly remember how long ago. I think it was within a calendar year. The winner of a Hearthstone tournament, his name was Blitzchung, from Hong Kong. When he won for his speech, he said, I think, "Free Hong Kong, revolution of our time." And the stream was immediately taken down. His winnings were revoked by Blizzard, and he was banned from the game, as well as the two announcers who had no part in it. And they did walk it back a little bit. They gave him back his money, and they shortened his ban. But I've felt a little icky about like giving more money to Blizzard when they are so like desperately appealing to like Chinese censorship.
That was to be honest, I had heard about that, and that was right when we flew out to BlizzCon 2019.
Yeah, then you can't. Nothing you can do about it then.
Yeah,
no,
everyone was standing outside like protesting. Yeah, I mean, realistically, dude, there's a few things I avoid, man, and then the hot topics of definitely politics. However, someone gave me a T-shirt that says "May MEI with Hong Kong," and it was a little chibi giving a peace sign. And I was I was like, I'm gonna take this shirt because it's so cute.
Yeah.
I was just like, let's go, dude. I don't even know what's going on, but
for sure, that's a really good one. I saw the movement of turning Mei, the Chinese character from Overwatch, into a.
Oh, is that what that is? I had no idea.
Yeah.
I've
played a lot of Overwatch too, and I feel you, Mazan, on like and the politics thing in general. Like all corporations are corporations, and therefore they kind of suck.
That's
They
how I
suck.
feel about it.
It's
Um,
business, dude. You gotta kind of suck to
It's-
make
it's
money.
true.
I mean, you can't be
Exactly.
cool and make money.
Did
Yeah.
you hear?
All
They-
businesses.
Another just quick aside: the EA executives who make millions and millions and millions they wanted a raise, and their shareholders said no, and I think that's very funny.
Yeah.
Why do
And yet I pay like $30 for an
Yeah.
expansion pack. So okay.
Yep.
That's ridiculous, man. They're already making dumb money.
Yep.
What kind of
Yep.
you want?
Yep.
Straight goofy money? You want
Goofy.
Monopoly money?
Absolutely goofy.
Want to light it on fire and throw it at you? I mean, what are you doing here? What is this? Burning pennies to the eyes. Who knows?
Next up, we wanted to talk about Pokemon, one of the most iconic, I think, gaming series. It's actually, I believe Pokemon is the most profitable IP, because they have cards, they have the show, they have the manga, they have
Maybe.
games. Don't quote me on that, but I think I've heard that.
Quote him on that and tell him he's wrong.
Find
I'm gonna
all the
Google
evidence that he's wrong and
I'm
cancel
gonna
him.
Google it. Yeah, you're canceled, dude. 2020.
I'm
bud.
already canceled, man.
Yeah.
I think
Unplug.
Unplug and roll
canceled.
out, bud.
We
Right,
said
I
we
got-
don't like Skyrim, and I think we got canceled for that.
Yeah.
What about Skyrim?
Let's not. We did it once. Let's not.
I don't like Skyrim either. So
Okay.
Oh, join the club.
yeah, World of Warcraft, Skyrim, GTFO, dude. Keep rolling. Except for when they rolled all those cheese wheels down the hill. That was
Yeah.
cool.
That was very cool.
Other than that, no thanks.
Pokemon, I have not played the recent ones. I think the last Pokemon game, mainline Pokemon games I played were Black and White. What about you guys?
I played Sword. I
Oh.
had a big
Yes.
fight about
Played
this
Sword also.
because I always pick like the blue one.
The blue one.
I know I always pick the blue one.
Yeah.
What
me
if it's
too.
not a water type? What if it's a blue
Well,
one that's not?
This is why I had a problem because Sword should be red and Shield should be blue.
Oh, you're not talking about the Pokemon. You're talking about the game.
I'm talking
I
about the
see.
game.
I misunderstood. I see. Okay. You've always picked the blue one. Okay.
I always pick the blue one, but the sword should be red. It should be red. It's a sword. But anyways, with that aside,
How did you like it? How did you like Sword and Shield?
I did not get very far.
Okay.
I liked it. I played it too. I liked it.
And how was the music?
Really good.
Yeah,
I think.
was gonna say I didn't pay that much attention, but I think I liked it.
I spent a lot of time in that wild area, so I had a lot of that music.
Okay.
It was
The
fun.
music of Pokemon I think is pretty iconic. More like we were talking about earlier, James. That I think the 8-bit stuff is the stuff that stands out the most.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know when you plug in Pokemon Yellow, dude, it's like
Yes. Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's on. You know it, dude.
Yep.
You're like, I'm gonna punch some animals in the face.
Yeah. The battle theme from Red and Blue is a favorite of mine, and I think that overall the music scaled up really well. I think that they were able to sort of keep the sort of bleeps and bloops intact while progressing as technology and musical expectations changed.
Yeah.
It got a little hairy there for a little bit. Let's be honest.
Where
dude.
are you
We got
talking about?
Silver and Gold got a little strange.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Silver and Gold. I didn't play the originals. I played the remakes.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a bag of farts. I'll be honest with you. That's when I was like, Pokemon not, dude, not for me.
I started with, I think my very first one was Leaf Green, and then I played Emerald, which is how it goes in generations, but not release order.
Yeah.
And then I went on to Diamond and the other ones, and like, I think that
maybe it was Diamond. Maybe it was
Diamond?
Emerald, Platinum.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just starting to make up words. These aren't
Yeah.
even real colors.
So many
Uranium.
games.
I think
So
he still
many.
named all Pokemon games in that.
Unobtainium. I don't even know anymore.
Pokemon Unobtainium. I played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out just because I think Pokemon was sort of pioneers of like 8-bit music.
Agreed. There, dude. Final Fantasy 3, 5, Pokemon Red, Yellow, Green.
Yeah.
Blue,
That era.
Pink. Hello? Are we still live?
Yeah. Well, no, I was just waiting for you to get through the whole
Yeah.
color wheel.
I don't even know. Am I still here?
We're just
Question.
gonna let you keep going.
No, but
I
that
love
time,
it.
dude, that time of music was crazy good, dude. Original
Absolutely.
Zelda, Master Quest, right? No, Zelda.
Yes. No.
Right? Zelda Master
Yeah.
Quest. Yeah, Adventures of Link.
Adventures of Link.
Mario
wow,
3, bro. Oh my clown.
Super Mario 3 is banging. It's not on our list, but Super Mario 3 is banging. Take that down.
Yeah,
So
Mario
good, dude.
should be on our list. Like,
Yeah,
these
should
are
be.
the
Mario up there,
forefathers
why?
of our favorite sounds.
Real quick.
You know what game had a sick soundtrack that nobody probably even knows? NES Goonies 2, bro.
NES Goonies 2.
I know you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't
Google
know.
it. You're gonna go, wow, this slaps hard, man.
Wow.
I vibe this
Really?
now. Yeah.
That's
Dude, I remember that
interesting.
soundtrack hit. Like when I was playing, I was like, ooh, dude. And you know, Simpsons, the multiplayer arcade
Yes.
Simpsons.
Okay,
I remember
Arcade
that.
Simpsons.
Yes.
Arcade Simpsons. Banging. Banging.
Dude, Ninja Turtles in
Nice.
time. TMNT,
Yeah.
4-player in
Yep.
time, dude. Oh my god.
I really wanted to talk about the game on our superhero episode, but I ran out of time and I wanted to talk about other stuff. But that game is really good.
My brain's functioning right
Turtles in Time.
now. Dude, Captain America and the Avengers, that theme, that 8-bit track slaps.
You mentioned Zelda,
Yes.
and while we're not talking about the originals, we want to bring up two of the most popular: Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild.
Makes sense.
So I wanted to start with Breath of the Wild. There is this one. The music in Breath of the Wild and the sound design, even beyond that, is just absolutely superb.
It's gorgeous.
Okay.
I wanted to give a shout out specifically to the sound that plays when Link clears a tower and gets like the map put on his tablet.
Oh, dude, it's so satisfying.
It's satisfying. You
The
can
sound of the
feel-
drip into the tablet.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
You get it.
Oh, yeah.
And when it goes do 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 the classic
build-up.
Zelda thing.
Yep.
But you can feel the impact of the keys. Like you know that it was a physical piano. It has this sort of weight to it that I just love.
And when you get the what is it, the orbs from the guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it goes like that shatters and the little
Yes.
tubes come out, like that
Yes.
sound, man. And it breaks it down to, it's like, yes, I know we're attempting to talk about music this episode, but it also comes down to sound effects too, like the
Absolutely.
weight of the action of what you're doing, dude. Like, let's be real, when you're cooking, come on,
Ooh.
the sound of when
Yes.
you're cooking in Breath of the Wild, man. And whether you do like, you end up with like what is it,
jingle?
dubious food or whatever,
Dude,
and you're like,
yeah, I
Yes.
think that's right.
yeah, and then or like something you've never made before, and he gets so stoked, it's and it has that sound of, and it turns into
Yes.
food. Oh, so good.
And I love, funny you brought that up. I love when you are cooking food and you don't know, like I would just try recipes, and if it's turning into dubious food, the second half of the song becomes like discordant, and you hear plates breaking, and like it's still a song, but they have all this, they change it up, and I really love that. It's like meeting the function. Yes,
And it has like, and it's like, and then he gets and he's like, oh, and he gets all sad.
totally.
So good, dude. So good.
The other one I wanted to shout out in Breath of the Wild, before you guys do, is when the blood moon comes up, which is when all the enemies get respawned.
When I get mad, I'm like, dude, F this.
Yeah, it was when you have to watch that cutscene.
Yeah, and we're all pissed. Link, you're like, shut up,
No.
bitch. Shut up, bitch. You're
Yep.
ruining my life.
The music is in reverse, and it's a really good way of making the player uneasy without necessarily them knowing why.
I don't
So,
think
like,
I ever noticed that before.
Yeah, exactly. But it's chilling, and like I think that is another really great way to use music, is creating effects that the player themselves are not even aware is happening.
Yeah, it puts you in. It's very ominous, uneasy.
Did you guys have any favorite songs from Breath of the Wild?
I was gonna say the blood moon part, and you
Yeah.
took that.
Oh, I'm
Just
sorry.
answer all of
No,
her
it's good.
thoughts.
I'm sorry. I was just so excited
Yeah,
about
you
it.
went. No, it's okay. I'm
No,
gonna
it's
go
fair.
on for Ocarina of Time, so that's fair. You took
You're
that.
right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I just love Zelda music overall. It's always very beautiful.
Totally.
I think the one that's coming to my head, that sticks out to me the most out of the two of them, dude, is Lon Lon Ranch.
Yeah.
First get to the ranch, dude. It's like, and then you go see the dad's like laying in like the chicken coop, and you get there and you gotta fight the weird dude with the stringy mustache. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and he's like, you gotta race me or take off your pants. You're like, well, I guess I'll race you. I don't want to do that right now. You know, it's like super uncomfortable. And you're like, why is this guy straight out of like the woods trying to touch me here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just gives you that feeling, you know what I mean? Like he's super creepy,
Mhm.
like creepy drunk uncle. You're like, I don't want it. I don't want that. Don't kiss me.
Do you have you have a lot more thoughts about this than I do, Caitlin?
Yeah, for Ocarina of Time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just love, overall, this game does a really great job of making the world feel real because every different part has a different feel with the music that it has. And I really appreciate that. And I see it's highlighted in the doc and says at Matan, which I think is really funny because Matan said that the world doesn't feel real in Ocarina of Time. But I think that the music does a really great job of making it feel real.
It definitely doesn't. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead. I was going
to say nowadays, sure, yes. For 2020, of course not, because you look at the games we got. Sandbox gaming, sandbox gaming became a thing at the dude when Zelda 64 came out, just to set the tone for like what your limitations. You were limited. Obviously, you could only go so far, and there was still control of where you went or whatnot in the game via Lost Woods or way out in Gerudo Valley or Gerudo Valley, however you want to pronounce it. Or Zora's Domain. Yes, it doesn't hold up now, but back then, man, that was the epitome, the epitome of sandbox gaming. You know what I mean? You had free. You didn't have to just follow this path. You could go out. You know what I mean? Obviously, as far out, like in the valley. You know what I mean? You had that freedom. So, and with the tying back to the music. Every time you got into a different area, you got into a different, circumstance or whatever. Even if you were in, was it the Dodongo cave? What was it, Dodongo Bongos or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the music set the tone to say, hey, you're not in, the Lost Woods or the Kokiri Forest anymore. You're now, you know what I mean, in the Dodongo's cave or whatever.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
So it gave you the vibe of that you're in a different part of the world. You know what I mean? So back in 1996 or whenever the heck it came out with, I'm just shooting that out of my head. Don't remember. I was a little kid. But whenever that came out, it really gave you that vibe of, like quote unquote freedom versus like Star Fox where you were just kind of going, it looked bigger, but you could still only have this much range of movement. Versus Zelda, you could run out and do different. Like you could find Lon Lon Ranch if you wanted to take the time to run there before you got to the castle to see Zelda get taken away. You know what I mean? On the back of the horse. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, that's part of what I really love about Breath of the Wild too, though, because they're both of these two games, Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild, they're very open world and they're so. I think they're revolutionary for their time periods, right? Like Ocarina of Time now. Maybe not as great, but Breath of the Wild, my God, I don't really like open worlds too much, but Breath of the Wild is spectacular. In the same way with that sound, like it would be a completely different game if it tried to do something else, I feel like.
I love that Breath of the Wild was, you were existing in the world wasn't existing around you.
Yeah.
Which is what was really cool. You know what I mean? There is stuff going on, and I think they're going to make that more interactive come the second time. Totally. You know what I mean? Like when you went up to the bad guys, like they were kind of doing what they were programmed to do. But I think you're going to see more interaction versus like when the, what do they call it? It's escaping me, the little pig monkey things.
Bokoblins?
Yeah, the Bokoblins.
Yes.
Yeah, Bokoblins. How you would see them attack some of the wildlife. I think we're going to see more of those interactions happen, or when they would attack like the people who are trying to cross, cross the land or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see, I would like to see, and I think we're going to see more of those interactions to express more that you're in the world and you're revolving around it versus it's revolving around you. And now we'll stop talking.
Well said.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go back to Ocarina of Time to go over some points I didn't get to go over, but you mentioned the Lost Woods, and this was one that I forgot to write down. I just love the way that Ocarina of Time uses music, and the Lost Woods is such a great example of this, because when you're going through and trying to find the forest temple, you have to listen to the music. You have to go up to like the different like holes in the wall and be like, okay, is this the right way to go? And you have to follow the music where it gets louder. And I think they do a great job of incorporating the music into the game. Not even just the non-diegetic music, they use the diegetic music so well. And if you don't know what diegetic means, it's music that's heard within the world of the game versus just what the player hears. Okay. And so, for example, with Link, he plays the ocarina, so that would be diegetic music. And I think that's just used so well within the game because you're able to play this music and then the music makes sense within the world of why you're playing it and you have reasons for playing each song. And I think it's just very cool. And yeah, and one of my favorite songs is the Scarecrow song. And I hate it because it's really annoying to use, but you get to create your own song in the world and play your own song that you make. And I think it's just a great way to incorporate the player.
Oh, that's right. I'd always do left, right, left, right, left, right on the C pad. Like,
And if you forget the song, it's so frustrating because it doesn't tell you what it is.
Dude, that's right. I forgot all about that.
But
I ended up cheating for the Lost Woods though.
Really?
Oh no.
So later on, once TVs got a little bit more better than like the 64-bit graphics or whatever, TV started getting a little bit more high res. If you go up and you're in the Lost Woods for 64, if you turn up your brightness and you go up to it, you can see the lights in the tunnel. You can see the one that doesn't get brighter, like because they all start to get brighter. That means it's an exit. The one that stays dark is the one you need to follow.
For shame.
Oh wow.
So that's how I was like, how the hell am I gonna get out of here before like YouTube really got like big? And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Check
Yeah,
this
throwback
out.
to those like guidebooks we had to use. I
Sorry,
had one
my
of those.
watch is going off.
You're good.
I'll take it off. It's so loud.
Yeah, I love those good books. I wanted to. My favorite. You were talking about the diegetic songs in Ocarina of Time. My favorite is "Song of Storms." That one is,
Dude, that's my favorite, bro.
Yeah.
That song slaps so hard.
So good, so good.
So what is it? What was it?
Do do do.
A down
do,
up.
do, do,
A down
do,
up. Was that it? Was that how you? Was it?
Yeah, that was
right.
right.
Was it right? A down up.
I think so. Sounds right.
Yeah, I like that game. Yeah, of course, I've aired my gripes with the game, but I like the game is based around music, and I like the integration of the ocarina. I also wanted to mention though, I really like in Majora's Mask, the ocarina is in that game too. And when you put on a different mask and change one of your species to what is it, Deku, Goron, or Zora, your instrument changes. So the Goron has drums, the Deku has like trumpets, sort of, and the Zora plays a guitar, and I like that. The songs are the same, but
that was a really cool part of Majora's Mask, and I completely forgot about that.
Totally.
I'm literally looking up the photos here. Of the songs
yeah.
Of which one? Now I'm all jazzed up, like, ooh, how do you play it?
You're gonna play, yeah.
And I forgot to mention, I love that because you can buy like your own ocarina and learn to play these songs. Like my sister bought one at a convention and started playing these songs, and it was so amazing.
Those sell big at conventions.
Yeah.
1,000 points go to this guy because it is A down up.
Nice.
Yeah, wow. I'm impressed. I am impressed. How long has it been since you played that game?
I don't even know, dude.
I'm impressed.
Probably somewhere around like this long.
Wow.
I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somewhere around.
You got it right there, though.
In here. I mean, it's not like I play it all the time. It just so happens it's right here. You know what I mean? I might have every awesome game for N64 I've collected. No big deal. I'm just gonna set all this classic, expensive stuff down. Okay, sorry.
Keeping on this classic hype train. Let's talk about Final Fantasy VII.
Dude, I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm excited.
Yep. This game has one of the regarded. Nothing new on this podcast. It's regarded as one of the greatest games of all time. The remake just came out a couple months ago. It's getting a lot of buzz. So you played the original and you played the remake, right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Is this one of your favorites? The original?
So I do like the remake. It is utterly beautiful. I'm not fully through it because I'm one of those people who have more games than time.
Absolutely.
And now that I make decent money, quote unquote, I use that term loosely, I spend it on dumb things like video games and toys, as you can see in my background here behind me as I move around.
You guys are missing out, listeners.
As much as I like the second one, and it is utterly beautiful to see, I would love to see it on my 4K GTX, gaming system. It is still beautiful for PS4. However, there is, and I say this is in a not joking manner, the original Final Fantasy VII touched me in a special way.
Yeah.
And I say
Totally.
that in a is he serious? I get it. I don't.
I get you.
Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there was something about being 15 years old, naming the characters after personal friends of mine.
Yes.
Getting more involved. You know what I mean? Like, literally, I have like files on files on files that you can tell who my friends were in my life at that time.
Wow.
For what characters named.
What an interesting
Steve,
time capsule.
I don't even talk to Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I can go through I still have my OG PS1 and PS2 game cards. Wait. Not saying on anything right here.
Very
and
nice.
I can go back and I can look at all of who I was in what file and what time of my life. So
how interesting.
Yeah. I did that with Pokemon for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, all my
Yeah, me too.
Pokemon after my best friends.
Yep. I did too. Final Fantasy VII, the music in particular is really stand out. I think it got a little bit of buzz because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is kind of acclaimed for its immense soundtrack, the sound library.
okay.
They have a ton of music from the games of every character that's in that game. They only 2 from Final Fantasy VII got in, but they sound great. And I know recently, because of the remake, a lot of the songs have gotten another treatment. And it's just so cool to see, as I mentioned earlier, like how the essence of the original is sort of maintained while sort of updating the technology around the music creation. It's just, yeah, that again, like Final Fantasy VII, I have not played the original all the way through. It was a little bit before my time, but the music and the sound like will always stick with me. That is some really good stuff.
Come on, let's be honest in here. Bum, 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 bum,
Yep.
bum, 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 bum. You're like, I did it, Dad.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, shit. Like,
Yep.
you know, that alone, that sound, you just want to swing a sword above your head that's way too big and then attach it to said portion of your body on your spine. How?
Absolutely.
I don't even know. Did
Yeah.
anybody carry the Buster Sword? Absolutely not. Did you swing your broom or any other item that's that size above your head as a child? Yes, you did. We all did.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be Buster Sword,
We
yeah.
did. Us old guys did for sure. No, but the music, man, Final Fantasy, like Tifa's theme, Sephiroth's theme.
Ooh,
when you're in
Sephiroth's theme, yeah.
when you're in the mansion, when you first meet Vincent, the ominous lurking as you're going up and down, like there's something magical about certain games like that.
Totally.
That just hit.
I wanted to bring this up earlier. This is something that is true for most of the games. I think this is just for the music and gaming at large. I think music in games can be really effective when it's used to sort of delineate areas and sections of the game, either literally physically or tonally.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's, like, I really enjoy when there is a different version, reorchestration of the same song for a different time of day.
Yeah.
I love when, if you revisit a place later and the connotations are different, or if you go back to a town and it's destroyed and the music is it's the same song but differently composed.
It's
totally
more
love that.
aggressive, like when it's destroyed. Say, like in World of Warcraft, when during Cataclysm, as you can see the skateboard behind me, when the dragon flew through and just Deathwing just demolished Kalimdor all and tore up everything, and they had to change. I know for you guys who's like, well, I never played World of Warcraft. What's he talking about, dude? It's going on forever. But when the music got so much more aggressive than when they came for the Cataclysm patch, because of Deathwing demolishing, like just ripping up everything. So it's to that, point of what you're saying. Yes, it is radical how musicians will do that, and gaming musicians. I don't even know. Do they have a title? I don't even know.
I don't know. Yeah, me neither.
Never composers. Yeah, composers. Yeah. Just because I play music doesn't mean I'm smart. Okay. All right. Is it handsome and smart are not spelled the same? Okay, but close in my mind. So whatever.
Next up, wanted to talk about another one that's famous for its music, the Bioshock series. More specifically, we're going to talk about the first one. I played the Bioshock game I played the most of is Infinite, but Bioshock's 1's music really stands out. Which of you guys have played Bioshock?
I played some of it. I got the game because I love the vibes of the game.
Yes.
Right. So
Great
like
vibes.
watching the trailer, the one thing, like, if you want me to buy your game, right, like, make it look really cool, a little scary, and have dope tunes, and I would probably buy it.
The trifecta.
Like, yeah, like, I'll probably just buy it. Like, there's not. I
Good
got
aesthetic.
maybe like halfway through. Yeah, I live for the aesthetic of that game.
Yeah, oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
The only reason I have not tried it yet is because I don't really like first-person shooters.
Yeah.
I've talked about that on here before. I get
In our
lots
VR
of motion
episode, yeah.
sickness playing them, so I just don't spend money on them.
Absolutely.
I feel
I get
bad.
it.
Call of Duty, sometimes if I play Modern Warfare, like if I'm tired, like physically had a long day, and the boys are like, "Let's go, dude. Let's get on
hop
COD,
on.
bro."
Yeah.
I get on, and sometimes I'm like, my eyes, or even like Borderlands, sometimes will whack me out a little
Mhm.
bit.
I can't do
Uh,
Borderlands.
So I get a
Even
lot of the looter
a
shooters
little.
will get me funky sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Particularly looter shooters have a lot going on
Yeah.
visually.
The older I'm getting, the more it's affecting me. As painful as it is to say that I'm aging and things are my knees hurt when I wake up. If it's cold, my hip hurts. Whatever.
That's the nightmare. Your knees hurt. Your knees don't work, and you can't play COD. That's like,
Dude,
The worst.
What
dude,
else are you
I don't
supposed
even.
to do?
Yeah, literally, my pee-pee's getting smaller, and I
Oof,
can't drink as much.
that's a nightmare, frankly.
I'm hanging by a thread here. I'm hanging by a thread. Call the cops. I'm arresting myself.
The things I wanted to talk about with Bioshock, I think it's the strength of the music in particular is the dissonance. So often the music that is playing, often diegetic, it's on a record player somewhere in the area you're in, creates tension because you're in a very scary setting with killing crazy people with a drill. But there is this like kind of upbeat, fun, like 20s music going on. And that is on purpose to sort of drive you further into uneasiness. And I really like that.
It gives you that vibe because if you think back really to the 20s, a lot of the big band swing and a lot of the like upbeat mooded music was more dark than it was anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how to explain this. Just straight creepy, dude.
Yes.
Anything that's played over like what is it called? I'm trying to think of the name of the actual like
the phone, the phone thing. I know what you're talking about. The loudspeaker.
Yeah, whatever it's called. Let's Google it here so old dumb brains knows. 1920s music player. There we go.
Oh, gramophone.
Yeah.
Was that it?
I think so.
Let's find out, dude.
We're finding out live. This is live research.
Yeah, if I could type. Not 90210. Who played on that show? Okay, here's a bunch of pictures at gramophone. Yeah.
Hey.
What is gramophone for 500, Alex?
I had to do a lot of research in the 20s for a pilot I wrote for a class, and I know more. Like there's like a fun level of knowing, and then there's like the like grueling, annoying level.
Yeah. Word. I partied at a lot of colleges. I get it.
Yeah. But I wanted to give a shout out also. The Fallout series does a very similar thing to Bioshock, where their music is relevant to the era, specific to the era, and creates a dissonance that is to the greater effect of the tone of that game.
I agree. I love the idea of Fallout, but the character customization is way too much for me. Like Elder Scrolls, or what was the other one we talked about with the dragons? What is it?
Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, Fallout was too much for me on character customization, especially the fact it's an FPS indirectly.
Right.
I don't even see myself unless it's some wacky mirror or a freaking puddle on the ground that they put too much money into making the graphics for. Yeah, I don't give a butt.
I get it.
What I look like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's the special shots in Fallout, rads or something, where then you see your character, but it's so rare. Like I spent 3 hours making my character and then reset and do it again after an hour when like I don't even see them.
Yeah, it's such a that literally was a boner smasher for me. Yeah, I was like,
I get it.
Not so much, thank you.
I don't blame you.
Outer Worlds too is the same thing because it's made by the same dudes who
Obsidian, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, ugh, I don't care what I look like. I'm not attractive and I want to shoot stuff. So let's go.
I'd like to try Outer
LFG,
Worlds.
dude. Let's go. So anyways, back to the music thing. Yes. So Any song that's played on a gramophone is creepy because it's mostly, there's no low end, it's all high end, tinny. Hence why they used it in the movie Jeepers Creepers, which had a similar soundtrack like Bioshock, which gives it that eerie vibe of just ominous tones, and it sets the whole like marker for the game with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With all the music,
Totally.
even with the when you got the playback, you know what I mean, the little playback machine that you pick up here and there, whatever the butts.
Bioshock.
Yeah, in Bioshock. Remember you picked them up. It was like the little audio recorders, you know, of the people's voices.
Audio logs. Yep.
Audio logs. Thank you. Even as I just played it 3 days ago. You stupid. Even the recording quality of it is all high end, tinny, very, very grumbly, very, rough. It all sets that tone for that eerie, dark vibe.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Good point. That's a good. I really see. That's your musician's perspective coming in. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sans the actual technical words of anything. I know how it works, but I don't know what it's called.
It's okay. Yeah. I mean, some of my favorite tunes, personally, I mean, I love these vibes, right? Like, that's why I own the game. And even with graphics, too, sometimes I prefer simpler. I prefer pretending it's, like, 1990 and I'm playing old games again.
Yeah.
I just do. And that's, again, why I appreciate your band. I mean, the 8-bit soundtracks, that is my shit.
Yeah.
But so
it
I
is
think,
kind of like a mix of Jamiroquai meets Smash Mouth. So
Jamiroquai meets Smash Mouth.
Yeah, I get it. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, good at him.
Well,
my turn.
No, I'm sorry. You go for it.
So I've been really loving 8-bit music, and this game is, I mean, relatively old. Undertale is retro as hell. Those vibes are amazing. And I think, like, even if you haven't played Undertale, like, the most iconic thing about the game is that one person, Toby Fox, did, like, everything for it.
Yes.
How someone can draw and create a narrative and balance mechanics and be a composer, I don't understand. I'm not that cool. But I really love the songs in this game. I don't think there's any, like, soundtrack that shouldn't have it if you're listening to, like, lo-fi or chill beats. They're amazing.
I don't know if they're chill. Some of them are chill. Some of them are chill. Some of them are
really, really chill. And they're slow, and it's kind of sad. But what I really enjoy is the song Memory. If you guys haven't heard it, I highly recommend it.
Where does that play? What area?
All the fucking time.
Okay.
It's all the goddamn. It's everywhere in the game. And so
I'm gonna pee my pants. I'll be right back. Just keep talking about Undertale. Let me
pause it. I can pause it if you want.
No, I want you to talk consistently and think about me going pee.
All right.
Yeah, just don't.
I will.
Don't stop the train. I'm gonna dive off and dive back on. Hold on.
I'll keep it fresh.
Yeah. So for Memory, like we were saying earlier with other songs, what's really important is how they revitalize when they introduce it, and it changes with the story, right? Like in World of Warcraft, the dragon, right? Like that kind of thing. So with Memory, after you finish the pacifist route, that song fucking changes meaning. Or even
I love that.
I love that. Me too. Yeah, or even just within the game before you finish in different parts. Very light spoilers, but still. So like when Undyne tries to kill you, the protagonist, the second time on the waterfall, the song speeds up.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that.
And I think that is really inventive in increasing your anxiety, because you know by now how the song is supposed to sound, and it's faster. And so that kind of, it goes with your heartbeat. And they do that a few times. And it's really great.
This is actually true. Your heartbeat, if within a certain BPM, your heartbeat attempts to match the BPM of the music you're listening to.
Huh. That's interesting.
It's why a lot of people go to sleep with, like, rain sounds.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't make that connection.
Yeah, because it'll force you to relax and fall into sleep with your lower heart rate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love Undertale. I have one complaint that I can get into after the music, but the music is absolutely superb.
It's to die for.
Megalovania is a meme, but it also was my second most listened to song of 2017. Megalovania is a banger, unironically.
That was a banger.
James is back. James is back. There he is. I really think that you would like Undertale.
I think I would like it too. I listened to the music. It was like a remix version of it. It was, I don't remember who
does
it
all
was
sorts of
by.
wacky shit. In
Yeah,
that
you
song.
were going on about how great it was, and I was like, all right, if he's talking about it so much.
It's very Earthbound, if you know Earthbound.
I do. I've never played it, but I am familiar with it. I read Game Informer a lot.
Okay, there, yeah.
Whenever I
make
make number 2.
Yeah, that's where you keep it on behind the toilet on the shelf.
Exactly. Game Informer. I'm like, oh, this is new stuff. Oh, cool, sweet.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, it reappears in my bathroom and I read it. But
I like what you said, Adriana, about messing with the tempo.
Yes.
You have a couple examples in here where the music slows to match a more calmer tone, like coming down from a high intensity moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, so, God, spoilers again. When James is closing your ears, but when you fight Azrael, and this is like a very emotional moment for the player. It's
early spoiler.
Yeah, but still, it's still
For
very.
sure.
I'm still very attached to this game. It's been
I get it.
I don't know
Totally.
how many fucking years. It's like 80% speed. It's really cool. You guys.
Cool.
You should
Yeah.
play it. Or
the
just
music-
listen to the soundtrack. Just listen to the soundtrack. Fuck the game. Fuck the story.
So-
Whatever. Just
So
listen to the song.
the music changes according to what's going on in the game, like you said, tempo-wise.
Yeah.
So like there's this one specific song called Memory that is like the theme song kind of the game. And it plays a lot. And so they'll change it at certain moments to a different speed depending on what's happening.
Yes.
Do you know where they probably got inspired from that by?
What?
No?
Now, I have not played Undertale, but I have played a lot of Mega Man.
Interesting. Do they do that in Mega Man?
And Mega Man is 8-bit as well. It's kind of got the same vibe of what I assume Undertale probably would be from the photos I've seen, etc. And
Yeah.
Earthbound and Earthbound 2 from NES and SNES, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm assuming they probably got that vibe. And think about Mario.
I was
It's
going
like
to say
dun, dun, dun,
Mario.
dun,
Yeah.
dun. When the clock hits, like you got like 60 seconds to go. Or
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good reference. That's the original, the OG.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming that's probably where they were inspired by. You know what I mean?
Probably. Yeah. And
Totally.
it's really nice to see like this kind of music, this classic music, like the origins of it coming back into popularity.
Yeah.
That's what I really love.
It's yeah, I agree. Like I think before the last couple of years, you very rarely heard 8-bit music outside of video games. And now listening to soundtracks has become more popular, and even 8-bit and 16-bit like musical groups have been founded. And a lot of them don't make it into the total mainstream, but it's it's more than used to be. I mean, you're making original music and then making an 8-bit version. Like I don't think that would have happened 10 years ago. Maybe, definitely not 20.
I am curious now that you bring that up, like especially being a fan of video games myself and someone who has taken their music and turned it 8-bit. I'm really intrigued to find out the process of how it was created. Did they write the music in 8-bit back then? Was that the move? Is like, oh dude, it's gotta sound like this. Was the music technology only capable of that? Were they trying to did they write it full band, say how we've done it in modern day, and then transgress it over to that? Like, how did that work?
I'm sure there's a bit that's technology. I think that's a significant part. But the one bit that I do know is that games used to be much smaller, of course, because they had less data. But even then, they were all sorts of workarounds that they had to do to keep the game small. For example, the clouds in Super Mario Bros. I think in Super Mario Bros. 1 are the same as the bushes. They're just colored differently. It's the same icon. And that's a trick they did to save space. And so with the music, I think they had to keep it very simple, often because, or not in composition, but they keep it simple in terms of sound. I think in large part because of keeping the game small.
So, but I mean, as for the actual writing process,
yeah, that's a good question.
Did they start, like I said, did they start it like full on? They compose it full band the way we did ours, and then
I can't imagine them doing that.
They didn't have the technology to transgress it over there. You know what I mean? From
not
full
directly.
Band to
that's a great question.
They were still even at times of Mario Brothers and everything else. I mean, obviously now sans Undertale, Even Mario Brothers, any game like that was on anything prior, pretty much to SNES, and even still SNES and Sega Genesis was still 8-bit. I mean, it was 8-bit music still, pretty much for the most part. They had certain things that made them a little bit more higher tech, but not really when I think about it. It's just like Mortal Kombat, maybe a little bit. But how did they create this music? Because if you think about it now, it's all where guys are using like different programs, Fruity Loops and all these garage bands and all these things like that now to take something and orchestrate it, digitally, versus they couldn't do that back in the 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? So
that's a really good. Yeah,
what were they doing? How did they make this? As a musician and a game fan, I'm very intrigued.
So what's your process like converting into 8-bit? The other guy does it. Is that right?
Yeah, I go to this website called Fiverr.com. I found this guy on there, and I paid him a low sum of money, around $100, to transgress my song.
Wow. So. That's, I think, a great deal.
I mean, that's low key. I know, I gave away the secret. Anybody who listens, like, dude, good idea, let's do it. Probably more gamers than musicians on here, so I feel a little safer telling you that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's how we do it. And I mean, that's how anybody would do it, in the sense of, there's certain musicians who there's just that dude that we use just loves making 8-bit stuff.
Yeah.
So I give him $100 a song, bing bong bing. 2 weeks later, here we go. We got the song.
Fantastic. He did a great job.
Yeah, dude, it's like I said, that song 8-bit goes harder than the real song. I mean, honestly, period. Yeah. I can't argue with it.
Well, I think that just about does it for this episode. Thank you for coming on, James. Really appreciate it. You offered a lot of expertise that we don't have.
I guess. I tried.
I guess.
Poorly.
All I can do is read sheet music, so like.
Oh yeah, all I can do is something you've never been able to do, but whatever, no big deal. Don't mind me. No, I'm just kidding. I want to say 3 nice things about your guys' background that I appreciate.
Oh, please.
Number 1, Matan, the 3D goggles.
Oh yeah.
Yep, the old school 3D goggles. Yep, and a little bit of the Finn and Jake art there on the right side.
I'm surprised you can identify it. Yeah.
Adriana, if I'm not mistaken, is that a makeup color palette there on your thing?
Where? I have so much crap here, you guys.
It would be to your left. Yeah, right there. Yeah, is that a makeup color palette?
It is not. It's my makeup wipes. So you're actually really close.
Wait, behind that, with all the different shades of pink and red, that's not a makeup color palette? What is that?
Bro, I have so much stuff in my room.
It's the top of your piano.
Oh,
your sheet music holder.
There it is.
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure.
Wow,
it's
full
absolutely
circle.
My keyboard.
Like
yeah, it does look like a makeup palette. Okay, so I was going to say sick palette, bro.
Oh, I see it. Now.
So let's dial back to something that's a little bit harder to pick up for 2 things. You got secret deodorant over there. Nice. A little bit of vitamins. And then you got a lint roller. So I respect the lint roller game.
I've got a bow. I've got a giant teddy bear.
Okay, now I can see that.
I've got some shit I made in kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
And I've got a Funko Pop of Rick Grimes back there somewhere.
Nice. Underneath all the vitamins and deodorant. Perfect.
Yeah, no, these are my emergency supplies in case anyone ever gets COVID. We have like Dayquil, NyQuil, like everything.
Because we know that Dayquil stops it.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say, that room, the things you listed don't make any sense. Then I realized they really actually do for you. It is thematic, I think.
She's got 1, 2, 3 sticks of deodorant. Any smelly people coming to her house, just wiping them down. Now over to Miss Caitlin. Can you please tell me more about said giraffe painting? I really am intrigued. I've been staring at this.
I painted that giraffe a few weeks ago, and I was proud of it. And I chose to paint a giraffe because I'm a fan of The Last of Us, and there's giraffes in that game. And then over here, I block him, but there is a dinosaur with a hat on, which is also a reference from The Last of Us Part 2 with the dinosaurs with hats. And I painted both of those, and I thought they looked nice as my background.
Yeah, I can hang with the giraffe. Last of Us escaped me, never really got it. Like I said, I'm not a sneaker.
Yeah,
it's a very stealth game.
I'm too brash, and I like to come and just beat the crap out of people. So that's.
Did
just
you play
my vibe.
Doom 2016? Oh,
Doom is too much. It's too much
the other way. The music in that game, though.
The music slaps. So the metal in that is, dude, it goes hard. I've watched on Twitch, and that is enough. Okay, I get it.
Just
so I didn't want to be ignorant about it, so I watched it. You know what I mean? And I leave
Yep.
it there. I have anxiety, so
Good for you.
I know I'm really proud of my anxiety.
Good for you. We don't care, James.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. But that's my compliments of your guys' background.
How kind.
Thank you.
And I wanted to say, unfortunately, viewers, we got a better look at this when we had a meeting with him last week. But he has some incredible action figures, Funko Pops on his shelves.
And
Everything.
tattoos. I thought you were gonna go for the tattoos too.
Sure, can you give us a shot of the sleeve?
A little bit of Mega Man going on. We're gonna fix that Mega Man. That's old. That's really old. That's from a video game called Mega Man Legends. Back on PS1.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah. A little bit of the Squirtle throwing up the metal hands right there. It's upside down, but he's right here.
Yeah.
So this is what I call mini metal. It's a thing that I made up a long time ago. That when the song is too intense and you can't handle it, you got to bring it down to the mini metal. You just go.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like
exactly. You got me 10. You got it. Nail it. You guys, can you do it all with me? Can we do the little mini metal?
Mini metal.
Yeah, you bring it in so tight, you're like. So he's throwing up the mini metal hand. Yeah. Pikachu, got the Master Chief, Zelda, Mario in there, Thundercats, Transformers, Castlevania, the blue. You ever played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or pretty much any Castlevania? You get into the clock towers, you got to face the blue and yellow floating Medusa heads. So annoying. The reason that it made me, I tattooed on my hand because it peed in my pants so bad that I figured if when I'm holding the microphone, if anybody knew that game, they're like, oh, F that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to be annoying.
It gets a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. And I've got tattoos on my leg. Like I have a big piece for Stranger Things because I freaking love it.
Yeah.
The synths in Stranger Things, fantastic.
Yes, I spent one evening back when I drank, and I attempted to write a synth for it, and it's my ringtone. I think I did a pretty good job, Stranger Things, because I wanted to be like, can I do that? Can I pull it off? And I did. It was my first attempt at GarageBand. Short, but sweet.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a tattoo on my leg of Stranger Things. His life is strange. There's a rubber alien on Instagram called @LILMayo, @LittleMayo, and they did a crossover. Someone painted him like David Bowie. So I tattooed that on my leg.
Wow.
Nice.
I have a lot of goofy tattoos. My right leg's a horror. I got it's a waffle cone with the poop emoji, and then it's leaking chocolate sauce with flies, and I put that on my butt cheek.
Amazing.
Got into a car accident, and I lived, so I was like, yont, let's get a funky tattoo today to commemorate my existence on this earthly plane.
Survival.
Yeah, let's go. Cone. Yeah, exactly. Stupid tattoos, and we're still alive. Sick.
Yeah.
And I'm done. You guys can wrap it up. I'll stop talking.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm always glad to hear these little stories. Thank you for coming on. Listeners or viewers, you can find us wherever you get podcasts or on YouTube with a video element. Check out some of our past episodes. A lot of the games we talked about in our open world episode last week came up this episode. So check that one out. Caitlin, Adriana, you got any last words?
Check out James.
Escape. Yeah, James, what's your @ Where can everyone find you?
You can find me at thesexydad.com. That's where I put all my spreadsheets in my.
Just to be clear, this is not a joke. This is real.
This is serious. It's my TSP reports. You can find my fiscal business earnings on @thesexy. No. If you want to find me on my Instagram, it's @theJamesVegas. One word, the James Vegas. If you want to check out the band, it's @officialMDE because it's the other ones are not official. So we had to make sure everybody knew this was the official one by putting @officialMDE. Just Google Modern Day Escape and set it or regret it. That's your choice. So whatever you want to do.
All those links that he mentioned will be in the description. And thank you very much for listening and watching. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you so much. Oh, snap.
So that'll go right here. The audience is not hearing me right now. And then...
Editing.
Magic of editing.